What's going on, guys? In today's video we're going to be going over lineup builders, and these are squads that some people sent me on Twitter, Whispers, stuff like that, asking on recommendations on what I think that they can improve on in their squad. So we are going to be going over it in 2KDB. Quick disclaimer, this is like to fit my play style. I don't know your guys' personally, and these are all current gen as well. I have not played next gen, so I honestly couldn't tell you which cards are better and which cards are worse on those two gens. But again, current gen, my play style. If you're sending me stuff, obviously you've seen my play style, so I don't know if it fits yours or not, but we're gonna hop into it. So first of all, I don't mind what he's doing with his starters. Personally, I would replace Jordan. Not being able to shoot is kind of a big concern at this point. So he could even do like a tactical downgrade, sell this Michael Jordan, and get himself like an Eddie Jones. Not quite as athletic, but he'll play really good defense, and he's a better shooter to stretch the floor for his other players. Again, as far as Giannis, if you're not using him as your primary ball handler, having him on the court is kind of a liability as well, unless he's completely badged out, which is a lot of MT at this point. I wouldn't run him, honestly. So what I would suggest for this one is grind out your heat check Dom, man, and get this Anton Jameson. Very good shooter, good defender, good rebounder, and he will hold that spot down for you very, very well. I really like this Derrick Rose card. Auctionably, I still think he's like a top, probably 3-point guard as far as people you can get off the auctions. Rudy Gobert, I don't have a problem with. Plays good defense, stretches the floor. There is other people you could replace him with, but that's a guy that I wouldn't mind having there. If you like that style of center and you are looking for a upgrade, I would say maybe like a DeMarcus Cousins. I'm not personally a huge fan of his card, but it's like a Gobert kind of center, just a better version of it. As far as your bench, they say as your backup point guard, I would get yourself like a Stockton. Yeah, I would sell almost all of these guys you have on here, honestly, because none of them would really run besides Pascal Siakam. As far as your backup two, I would get rid of James Harden and get yourself like a Rudy Fernandez. 3, there's a new card that came out today that is free that you just type in the locker code, and he should be on almost everybody's squad if you don't already have a God squad. Is this Jeremy Grant? Pascal Siakam, I don't have a problem with you keeping him. If this was my squad personally, I would get rid of him for like maybe an Xavier McDaniels, or depending on how much MT you have, Zion Williamson is still very good. But as far as like looking to save some MT, I get yourself like a Thurl Bailey. He's gonna lock it down for you defensively, and very, very good budget card. And as far as your backup center, I would stretch the floor a little bit with a very good inside defensive center as well with Brook Lopez. So I love that you're running Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is still one of my favorite point guards to this point. Jimmy Butler, obviously, very good card. He's going to hold it down. And even little upgrades like this is something that I feel like you would have a lot more success running this than something that you were doing already. Alright, as you guys can see, this next lineup is already pretty solid, honestly. He says he has over 400k MT, and if you have that much MT, the big upgrades personally I would be looking to make is I would go pick up I would replace Iverson with somebody like the new Ben Gordon card. This Ben Gordon card is very good. He's kind of small to run into a shooting guard, so I personally like him better at point guard. So I would throw like Ben Gordon right there at your point guard position. Scotty, I don't mind on the defense. The rest of your squad defensively is incredible. You probably have arguably the best card in the game right here with the Anthony Davis. Zion is still very, very good. AK, I prefer more at the 3 or at the 4, but he says he really likes his AK, so I'm not going to mess with that AK right there either. He says he's badged out as well. That all of his starters besides the backcourt was badged out. So Fultz is a very good budget card, but if you have as much MT as you're saying, I would even go as far to pick up like a Stockton, or if you wanted to spend more MT on it, you could even go like a Derrick Rose, depending on how much MT you're willing to spend at the moment, and even just replacing those two. And if you did want to upgrade on Scotty, man, there's a bunch of people you could get here. Maybe like with how much MT you're saying, maybe if you get yourself even like a Butler. Butler would be incredible in that spot. It's an upgrade on defense, and he's a better offensive card than that Scottie Pippen. If you don't want to go as expensive as picking up somebody like that, you could maybe even go like a Danny Granger at 6'9" to play that two. He plays the lanes incredibly well, and he comes very badged out on the offensive end as far as shooting and stuff like that. So once you buy him, there's not a whole lot of MT you have to put into him after. But as far as the rest of it, man, I really like the way your squad's constructed. But those are like the small kind of upgrades I would make on this squad if I was running it myself. All right, this next squad we're looking at says he has about 250K MT to spend, but he is looking to save some of it for the next promo drop coming out tomorrow on Friday. So if you're not looking to spend too much, honestly, these two are hard to replace considering they are free cards. But personally, I don't like that they don't play any kind of defense. So as far as these two, I would even pick yourself up like somebody cheap, like a Chris Paul could even replace him for me personally. I would slide like Rudy Fernandez right here into your starting lineup. What else? I really like defense and running, so I would throw in like a Thurl Bailey right here maybe. I would sell this Clint Capella while its value is still really high and get yourself like a Chris Bosh. He holds it down right now as far as, and then looking at that's a lot better defensive lineup personally to me than what was already on there. As far as your backups, like I said, this jaw just doesn't do it for me personally. Even like this Michael Carter Williams, I would personally run over him. Very long, very big, very good rim runner, and he even has a decent jump shot. So somebody like that, I even like better there. And then put like an Eddie Jones at the backup here. I would move Jeremy Grant to your backup 3. As far as like your backup 4, I'd be looking for somebody, if we're staying cheap, like like this Xavier McDaniels card. Very, very good. And as far as your centers, if you're still trying to stay cheap, I would stick with either like this Ilyasova. He's a decent card, but even like this retro Thon Maker is a card that I really like as well as far as budget cards. So even running a lineup like this, again, it stretches out the floor for you more, and it's more defensive oriented, which is my style of play outside of Thon Maker, who isn't as defensive oriented, but still holds it down decently just because how tall and long he is. But these are the kind of upgrades I would make on a squad like this. All right, so the next squad we are looking at, he said he has no money spent. He has 400K MT, and that he runs the 21 delay and kind of does the pick and roll to try to get his players open. So as far as that, I do like Shawn Kemp as like a pick and pop option. If you do looking to upgrade him, I'd throw somebody probably a little more athletic in there. The Shawn Kemp card definitely isn't bad. I like that he has Showtime. He has catch and shoot. So he has stuff like that. So he's a fine card to leave in there if you're looking to run the pick and roll Chris Paul, who I really do like as well if you're running like the kind of like the 5-out pick and roll offense. Jeremy Grant, I'm going to leave in there as well. He's a very good card, man. I'm very high on this Jeremy Grant. So I like what you're doing as far as those 3. Wesley Matthews, if you're just running like a cone, he's fine on here. But I would upgrade your shooting as far as your Pascal Siakam if you are looking for somebody like that. So, I mean, I'd even run like a... let me see. If you have that much MT, you can even throw somebody like a Zion in there, honestly. Throw somebody like Zion. But if you are looking to stay cheaper still, there's again, there's like that Xavier McDaniels who will still spread the floor, but he'll play better defense than that Siakam card. Even like this John Collins card spreads the floor very well, very athletic. His stats aren't very good defensively, but as far as I've been playing with him, he's played above his stats just because of how athletic and how big his player model shows. I'm fine with running something like this. The backup point guard, this Derrick Rose is not it. So if you're running as cheap as... If you're trying to stay cheap, I would even throw like a Tony Roten in there who does a lot of the same things as Derrick Rose. He's just kind of a better card. And he's longer as well. Your backup shooting guard, I would move, honestly, this Gerald Wallace to the 2 because I really like the length and shooting of Gerald Wallace. So I would keep him over there. Pick up somebody, if you're trying to stay cheap, like maybe like a Lou Dort to run. Keep John Isaac at the 4, and then spread the floor out a little bit more. Jonas Valanciunas is decent, but even a small upgrade, somebody like a Chris Bosh, I feel like really does more than he does on the court for you. Again, I'm not huge on this John Collins card, but if you are a high enough level, I would even throw somebody like Nicholas Batum would really round out this starting 5 very nicely for you. So these are kind of like the smaller upgrades I would make on this squad. If you're trying to save yourself some MT still, but still compete high on the unlimited. Alright guys, so that's all I got for you today. If you made it to this point, I appreciate you guys sticking around, man. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on the video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.